Wellspring volunteers. We are so excited to be able to reopen the church for services very soon. For those of you who are coming back to volunteer, I just want to show you really quickly the different roles here. Our guiding principle is to love one another well by keeping each other safe. So we have put a lot of thought into how we can do that. The first thing, I'm standing outside, we're going to have the door greeter. We'll have one on each door. Help people stand socially distanced 6 feet apart, lining back up onto the sidewalk. And the door greeter will be the one to set an example. So that we won't be hugging, we won't be touching, but we do want to make sure people are wearing their masks, which I'm not doing right now because I want you to hear me very well. But to make sure people are wearing their masks as they're coming in. And also when they come through, we'll have the doors propped open. So people will not, as they come in, have to touch the door. The only people to touch the door are the door greeters. Prop them open if the weather's nice. Welcome them warmly. And then the check-in person will be right here too. We will have 2 check-in persons, one at each door with an iPad. If that is your role, you will look for the person who's coming in. They will register ahead of time so they can just check you off, and they will have their section number. So if the person coming in doesn't remember their section, you can tell them if you're the door greeter, and there'll be signs to direct them. So you can come in with me here. They will come in to their particular section. If it's A, B, C, D, there are 4 sections, or 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm not sure yet. The doors will tell them which doors to go through. And once you come in, there will be hand sanitizer to sanitize before you go in the door. We're requiring not only masks, but hand sanitizing before you enter. Once you enter, on the ground is also 6 feet apart, measuring 6 feet apart. The usher will meet them here, and the ushers direct them to the front of each section. So we're going to seat from front to back. So come on in. The sections are 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see they're kind of socially distanced apart. You can direct them to sit, if they're just one person, to kind of take a couple seats that are not as many together. If you're a household, of course, you can sit together, seat them together. The usher's role will be to kind of stand here and direct them. If you see them not kind of sitting towards the front, kind of go ahead and remind them to sit towards the front. Ushers, after the service, you will release them from back to front, row by row. Again, that's to keep people from walking past as many folks. So the ushers will release them from the back to the front. There will be no bulletins, and we are also not doing any offertory ushers, but your job will be to help sanitize in between the services. We will have bottles of spray that don't require you to wipe down, you just spray and leave it. And then after the service, I should say, we are directing people to not linger here in the foyer, to come directly out as they're released and walk back to the parking lot. So you can remind them to do that. They can socialize outside where there's better air circulation and easier to social distance. A couple other rules we have. There's going to be a Welcome Center host. The Welcome Center host will stand behind here. And anybody who is not registered will be directed to come to the Welcome Center. There'll be a laptop here. You can enter in their contact information into Planning Center. And a few minutes after the service, maybe 5 after, you'll see if there are any empty spaces where they can sit. But we will kind of hold them out here till all the registered guests get to sit first. The other job of the Welcome Center host is if anybody would like their temperature taken, we will have a couple forehead thermometers for people if they would like to. We're encouraging all people to take their temperatures at home, but for visitors or people who would like that, we're offering that at the Welcome Center as well. Another thing I should mention, if anybody who comes without a mask on and does not have one, door greeters, we will have boxes of masks that you can offer them by the doors. If there is anybody who comes and just kind of refuses to wear a mask or has any problems wearing a mask, you can direct them to find me or any of the staff. We will kindly kind of talk to them about the importance of it and why we're doing that to keep people safe. And if they still are not in compliance, we might have them stay out in the lobby or sit towards the very back of the sanctuary. This is again like to really abide by the rules that not that we have come up ourselves at Wellspring, but the state has as well for requiring masks inside. And the last role is actually the bathroom monitor. This is not the funnest job, but we are only opening the bathrooms right here, which is right by the office. Because of social distancing, we're actually only having 2 people at a time in the men's room and 3 people at a time in the women's room, based on the number of stalls. We will have a sign saying, or cover up the water fountain. We're not using the water fountain. And on the ground, there's actually marking 6 feet apart, so you can wait, and when one person comes out, the next person can go in. But the bathroom monitor's job is to kind of make sure that there is social distance happening even in our bathroom space. These are the only bathrooms we have open, and in fact the rest of the church is closed. Downstairs, children's rings, they're all closed. And so as a volunteer, if you see people wandering, we're just gonna kind of direct them back. And again, that's for making sure like this space is cleaned and not having to clean all the other spaces that people go to. And offering, we are not passing a collection plate for obvious reasons, but we are gonna have a box where people can put in their offering. If you are a volunteer during the 11 o'clock service, you might be tapped to count the offering. We're only counting offering after the second service. And after the 11 o'clock service, you do not need to spray because we will have the cleaners come and clean after the 11. So spraying down everything in your area. If you are the bathroom monitor, spraying down the bathrooms, counters, the door handles in between services would be great. And if you are a door greeter, spraying down the door bar, and then kind of all hands on deck if you're free to help spray down the plastic chairs in the sanctuary. So those are some additional things we're doing to try to keep Wellspring COVID safe. So thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate your willingness to serve. And I know not all of you can do that at this time, and we totally understand, but thank you for helping us keep Wellspring safe, and we look forward to having you all back. Thank you.